Hi.
Right
So
on.
how you been doing?
Doing wonderful. Doing good.
Good,
Yep.
good. How can you tell me how you been doing with your sleeping and
Sleeping
dreaming and
has been really good. Sleeping has
uh,
been really good.
consistently?
Yes, consistent.
Nice.
I usually go to sleep about 9 o'clock and I only wake up probably twice in the night to go to the restroom and then go right back to sleep and I stay asleep until 5:30. So yeah,
Wow.
doing really good.
Nice. And are you feeling like you're waking up rested now and ready
Yep,
to get up and go?
ready to get up and go. Yep, my wife
Wow.
just got a new job and so she's up at 3 o'clock so she can be to work by 5, and she wakes me up at 3:30 so she can help me get my socks and shoes on.
Right.
And I've been able to, just because I get up at 5 anyway, so I've been able to just stay awake. So I feel really rested.
Oh, good.
Yes,
Oh,
it's been
wonderful.
great.
Awesome. So, and really, I think since that, when we had our second session, you'd had a nightmare the night before, but then
Yep.
last week you said no nightmares, and this
And no
week no
nightmares this week.
nightmares, sleeping through the night mostly. All right. And
Yep.
then let's just check in on how you're doing with anger or not.
Doing really good with that.
Yeah.
I haven't felt I haven't felt angry or haven't felt, and I've had several situations come up where I could have got angry, but I didn't. I just kind of was like, yeah, or figured out, a way to talk about it or whatever. So yeah, I've just haven't felt the immediate, like, bam, angry,
It's where
and
you now
everything.
you have more control of
Yeah,
it and
exactly. I
it's
have more control over what's happening.
nice
Yes.
with your
D-
emotions. And again, I think it's so important to not deny feelings because they're there for a reason. So if, like you say, sometimes you can talk it out or you can find other ways of addressing the problem besides
Right.
just anger, which doesn't usually help, right?
Right.
So awesome.
Yes. Doing really good with that too.
And I'm guessing you've had opportunities with the kids on the
Oh,
bus
yes.
yeah.
Yes,
And
but I've been really patient with them, and it just hasn't bothered me like it did before. Just hasn't
okay.
bothered me,
And it
and
sounds like there's better ways than to help them get under control and they're not
yep.
pushing your button so they
Yeah,
don't cry
exactly.
so much.
Because if they push
Mhm.
my buttons, that's what they want to do, and then
Yeah,
it just gets worse.
exactly. You know that
So,
one. And so how
yep,
nice to experience that
the
improvement.
change has been good.
Oh, wonderful. And then I think last time we were focused on the goal was just wanting to be able to be free to be as productive as you wanted and not get pulled into the worry and the anxiety.
Yes.
And I'm
And
looking
we
for
also
where we
worked
put a
on
sign of change.
the job. We also worked on the job, a little bit, and
Oh, right.
I have felt really good in the mornings, and so
Okay.
that's just, I've felt pretty good anyway, but I have really felt good in the mornings.
Oh,
It's kind of
nice.
hard until I change jobs to find out if that part of it is better, but it's so far I feel really good in the mornings.
Oh, good, Carl. Because I think when we talked before, even thinking about it coming
Yep.
up was enough to trigger the
Yep.
anxiety, but now you can think about it and it's
Exactly.
okay.
And now I think about it, but I think, well, it'll be good. It'll be a thing that, will help us financially and stuff like that. So I can think about it without being a big deal.
Wonderful. To me, that's a real indication that you have a choice
Right.
and you're not stuck. So
Right.
that's really what we want is movement. And I think you're right. It's certainly going to be good to talk about when things get closer or if, anything else comes up. You got something going there?
Oh, my dog.
Oh, okay. Of course, always.
That's right.
So, so just really you ended up with a sense of inner well-being, joy, feeling good, happiness, joy, fun, kind of the places you want to come from.
Right.
Nice.
Exactly. And it's
Cool.
been going good.
Sweet. So I guess I would like to just, I'm going to ask you if there's anything else too, but when we talked before, maybe the first session, you were referring to how you had been the Mr. Nice Guy before.
Right.
And then there was kind of this counter reaction thing, and then the anger, and it's like, I'm not going to do that anymore. So,
Right.
so it's nice not to have the anger, but I guess I want to make sure that you feel in balance, that you don't have to kind of go back to that role that's
Right.
not
But
useful or
the more I thought about it, Betsy, is I've been Mr. Nice Guy for, 48 years. I'm
right,
50 now, and my life felt better for the first 48 than it has the last couple. And so, as far as being Mr. Nice Guy, so in my mind now, that's telling me that Mr. Nice Guy is probably who I am,
okay,
and I like the fact that people see me as Mr. Nice Guy,
right,
and they
right,
know that I will help no matter what and nothing in return. And so I like it when people call, for me to help them with stuff and stuff like that. I don't have to be, a jerk and say, no, I have a truck and yeah, I'm not going to help you move, or no, I'm not going to loan it to you or whatever, because all that stuff is just, it's just material things. And it doesn't matter if, something happens to them, we can replace it. That's what insurance is for, whatever the case may be.
okay,
Um, I feel like I need to be Mr. Nice Guy because I
okay.
feel better when I'm Mr. Nice Guy.
Well, and as long as you do, Carl, I guess I just want to make sure
That
it's
I have a
not at your
choice.
own expense. Exactly.
Yes.
You know my
Yeah,
language. Yeah.
exactly. Because I do have a choice,
Okay.
and I can, but see, now I can think about it and say, look at it as helping somebody rather than Mr. Nice Guy. I
Uh-huh.
look at it like I have a choice to help them or not,
Okay. You don't
and
have to.
no, I
If
don't
you
have to.
can't, or I just think it's always useful to notice if there's a price to pay, if you do
Yep.
something. I mean, it's wonderful to be there for others and be,
Right.
nice and kind and giving and all that. I think to me, it's always a balance of,
Yes.
we want to
And
be
then I
able
have
to
a choice.
take care of ourselves too,
Yep.
as well
Exactly.
as everybody else. So
So I
it's
don't
just,
pay
again,
for it
yeah.
personally.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So that's good. It's just, I think you can be aware now and not just
Yes.
automatically do something or not do something, but
Yeah.
again, have a
Yep.
choice.
Have a choice. I
Awesome.
think it's good.
Good. So overall then, how would you say you're doing? Are there any other
Overall, I'm doing
things?
great.
Um,
Overall, I'm great because though so many things has changed in my mind as far as a choice goes, that I feel good. I feel good about getting up in the mornings and going to work and going and doing our thing and just feeling good in general. And it's, I think overall my success feels like I'm being successful at it.
mm,
I feel like I'm being successful. I feel like when an angry situation comes up and I treat it as choice. I make the choice, but when you make the choice, you stick with your choice, and then whether
Mhm.
it's good or bad, you have to own up to it,
Mhm.
no matter how it is,
Mm.
and stuff. But I feel good about my choices that I'm making. So I
Wow.
feel like it's been a success.
Oh, wonderful. My goodness. I mean, it certainly seems like when we first met, this is our fourth session,
Uh-huh.
and it was on the 13th, and yeah, just all kinds of nightmares going on, and
Yep.
hard time sleeping, and the arguments, and the short with people, you said, snapping at the kids. You wanted to be able to not let things bother you, be able to be more peaceful, be able to have the choice to stay away or stay at work all day. We're going to see about that one.
Yep.
Um, Again, the sleeping better, choices about not worrying, choices about not being angry, being more peaceful, feeling more
Yep.
rested. All of that is
All of
going
that stuff
on.
seems
And
like it's been covered by the change on the first few sessions that we had. It seems like those changes made big changes for most of the situations that I had problems with,
yeah,
with the sleeping and the nightmares, getting rid of those, helped fix the anger and because I'm sleeping better and I feel better, and all of it just seems to be one um fix, not a
mhm.
fix. I hate calling it a fix, but
Well,
the fix
yeah,
for all of these problems.
nice,
It just
nice.
feels good.
Yes, yes, really. We rewired your brain a little bit, so you had some choices to not go into the fight or flight, and you were kind of going into both.
Right.
And now, again, I
Yep.
think it's just about being able to see the situation for what it is, deal with it in the present time, and you've got the skills and tools to do that,
Exactly.
and it's working. And then I think then things are moving in the better direction, and I think then things will continue. And I always say change is a step or two forward, a step or two back. And
Yep.
I think as long as we're aware of that and we know that you don't just build a house and just go straight up, you kind of got to build your foundation and make
Exactly.
sure that you're stable. And I always say it's the unconscious mind integrating the old with the new. That's
Hmm.
sort of what needs to happen. So I think that's great. I mean, to notice that it doesn't mean anger isn't going to come up or worry isn't going to
Sure.
come up. It's
Sure.
just you have ways of dealing with it now.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And to recognize that anger is okay, in the right situations, and the way that I deal with it and the way that I react to it, the situations coming up, is the tools that I have in
Mhm.
my head
Mhm.
to deal with the situation.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is great.